When I found out that the Norwegian Spirit, the first cruise ship that I ever cruised on, was having a massive $100 million upgrade, I knew that I had to get back on board. I was excited, but definitely a little bit nervous too. This was the ship that made me fall in love with cruising way back when I was 11 years old, and I knew that they would be changing absolutely everything. They were adding some new things, changing some, taking a few away entirely, including one of my favourite childhood spots. I spent 11 days on board to find out if she would still feel like the ship that I loved. I noticed the first difference before we even embarked the ship. It was the updated hull art on the side. There was nothing wrong with the old design, of course. It was a goddess with a few dolphins, but this new design is very impressive. It instantly made the ship look more modern, and I was so excited to get on board at this point. We headed straight into the main atrium. This area is one of the areas that I remember most from that cruise when I was 11, and I loved going up and down in the lifts. There used to be a piano here and water fountains. It didn't take me long to notice that Norwegian had completely changed the layout of the stairs and added in a massive TV. I have no idea how big this TV is, but it is absolutely huge. At first, I wasn't convinced by this change. It is weird to say, but I was weirdly attached to those staircases, and I did really love the water features. As the cruise went on though, it just made more and more sense. Moving the stairs like this changed the atrium from an area that people only really walked through to a place that people used every single day. Sure, we used to take photos here on the stairs and they were brilliant, but it wasn't really an area where we spent much time. Now though, this very impressive atrium is the heart of the ship, and there would always be people in here doing trivia or crofts or maybe just sitting down with a drink. The cafe on the bottom level serves Starbucks, and there is also a pub, one of my favourite areas to go to when I was a kid. We used to spend our evenings in here singing along to traditional Irish songs, including a song about unicorns, which I thought was very funny. I still remember every single word and every single movement to that song. The pub itself hasn't really changed at all, but more about why that is later. The lower level of the atrium is deck 7, and wandering down the side of this deck I found a bar called The Local. This is a bar I recognise from my other Norwegian cruises, and I used to eat in here a lot when I was younger. I was 11 on that first cruise, so I did have a little bit of freedom, and with that freedom I would usually choose to come here with my cousins to eat the buffalo chicken wings. They are still on the menu, I'm pleased to say. They're available on all Norwegian cruises, and this bar is open 24/7. It's all included in the cruise fare too. I love the lighting, the chairs, everything about it really. If the team who designed this room came and designed my house, I would be very happy. We ate here quite a lot during our cruise, and we would come for brunch or lunch or dinner or even just a snack. The seating area is much bigger than it used to be because they have taken out the video arcade and expanded it. I definitely used to play Pac-Man in there when I was a child, but this change makes so much sense. We never found a time where we couldn't get a seat in here, even though it was a very popular place to be. The windows are lined with tables, and you can sit here and look out onto the promenade deck, which is really lovely. There are more seats on the other end and seats at the bar too. Not literally seats on top of the bar, of course, hopefully you know what I mean. I do wonder what happened to the empty chairs at the empty Les Mis table. Hopefully if you've seen that musical, you'll understand my joke. Norwegian Spirit isn't an adult-only cruise ship, and there are still activities happening for kids on board. She's certainly geared towards a more adult experience though than she was on my first cruise. The ship has grown up just like I have. The kids clubs have been removed, and the teens club has been converted to a lounge that everybody can use. I cruised on this ship in Japan, and we had very few children on board, so having these spaces available for everybody definitely makes more sense. I really felt as though this ship had a lot of space per person, and that is something that I find on ships of this age. I think it's brilliant. Later on, I would find out what happened to my favourite area when I was younger, and spoiler alert, it is gone. The way that the Local had been updated was replicated on all of the bars on board. Champagne Charlie's near the atrium has been changed to Magnum Champagne Bar, and every single chair, cushion and curtain has been replaced. When you take a cruise, the things that you interact with are the things that are around you. I don't think it really matters how old the actual steel of the ship is. You don't see that. Take this observation lounge for example. She's been completely restyled and she looks brand new. I love the colours and the way that the lounge now feels so big and open. You can always find a nice corner to sit in though, and there were loads of things that happened in here every single evening, like game shows and music. These seats around the edge are my personal favourite. The bar itself has been changed completely, way, and I think it looks very trendy. I don't think it's cool probably to call things trendy anymore, but I think it looks trendy and I'm gonna say it. There did used to be one thing in here that I miss, and that is a bridge viewing room. You used to be able to walk down and watch the captain and the officers while they were working. I completely understand why they don't have that anymore though. I would hate to be working with everyone looking at me like I was in a museum or in a zoo. It probably is for safety reasons too. There are some areas on board that haven't changed so dramatically, and that is because they really didn't need to. One of those is the theatre, which interestingly is at the back of the ship. Normally cruise ship theatres are at the front. I found this ship very easy to get around. The only quirk that I found was that the second main dining room you could only get to from one staircase, but apart from that the public areas are pretty much just decks 7 and 8 and then up on 12. My cabin was on deck 10, which was perfect. We were never too far from anything. There was a seating area on the top of the theatre which could be accessed from deck 8, and there were loads and loads of seats in the middle section. The colours have changed slightly since I was on board last time, but you can't really improve on this. It is a very impressive theatre with a very big stage. There are a few pillars in the way if you sit on the upper level, but down low there aren't any at all. This would have been very important when Star Cruises owned this ship, because they used to have a tiger on board. A real life tiger, and you wouldn't want to miss out on seeing that. I'm happy to report that Norwegian haven't ever had a real tiger here. I don't think it's good to have tigers on cruise ships, but I still find that history very interesting. This area has kept the original charm but been updated in the same way as places like the main pool deck and the main dining rooms. I love this massive main dining room with these incredible windows, and the food here is included in the cruise fare. Another area that hasn't changed much is the promenade deck. It is pretty impossible to improve on this. I just love it. Promenade decks are meant to be timeless in style, and this one goes all the way around the ship. The pub is just inside here, and I don't think that that has changed too much. This is just what a pub looks like. It always has been, and it probably always will be. If you tried to make a pub and you made it all marble and sparkly, that would be the weirdest pub in the world. We enjoyed playing trivia in here, and I noticed that this guy, who I assume is Henry, this is Henry's pub, he has moved. I'm glad to see though that he's still here and he's still going strong. There are a few technical updates on board, like the addition of TVs in here, and they have screens around the ship. The photo center is now entirely digital, whereas back in the olden days of 2005 on my first cruise, all the photos were printed out and then you decided if you wanted to buy any. This new way means that the photos aren't printed unnecessarily, which is much better. I did like looking at photos of other people though, particularly if they were pulling a funny face. I loved playing that game when I was younger. I would smile at the photographer and then at the last second, I would just stick my tongue out, see if I could get it in the photo. On deck 12, there is a completely new restaurant that's been added called onboard by Scarpetta. I first ate in this restaurant on board Norwegian Encore, and I've been to it on board other ships since. The bread they serve here is so good, it is worth coming, honestly, just for the bread. The design makes me feel as though I'm inside a whale, and it's very impressive to me how they've managed to take a concept that they have on newer ships and then retrofit it here. Norwegian Spirit has lots of specialty restaurants, and this massive refit has made everyone look and feel how they do on the newer ships. Take Cagney's, for example, on Norwegian Spirit and then on Norwegian Encore. They're very, very similar. From Onder, you can look down on what used to be my favourite area as a kid. It was called Buccaneers Wet and Wild, and I spent a lot of time in here with my brother. The pirates are gone now, and it's an adult-only area called Spice H2O. Now that I'm an adult, I think this is my favourite part of the ship. We had the most incredible views from here, and I'm so glad that they updated this space. 11-year-old me would probably disagree, of course, but 11-year-old me has absolutely no say in this. So that's fine. Another area where I was impressed was the cabins. I had the most amazing cabin on the entire ship. I had a penthouse suite, and my dream of having a bath on a cruise ship finally came true. The decor felt very modern, and I enjoyed this very, very much. There was nothing that looked damaged, and the original photos of what the cabin looked like made me realize how much she has changed, how much everything has changed in that time. I do like these lights in the bathroom before though. It's very extravagant. Last time I was on board the ship, I stayed in an inside cabin, and a friend of mine who was on the cruise this time let me have a look around her inside room. She was very happy with it, and it looks good to me. There's not really very much that you can dislike about this. It's fairly calm and it's pretty plain. The bathroom was a good size and there was plenty of storage. The $150 million of changes did make a huge difference to the experience of cruising on board. It definitely wasn't a case of just painting the ship in more modern colours and changing out the pillows. The ship is pretty much a new cruise ship. I hope that that means that she will have decades more of life in her, because she is only 28 after all. Maybe I'll be able to come back and I'll be able to update this video in the 2030s. That would be pretty cool. In this video, I have shown you a little preview of my cabin, but you're going to want to watch this video next. This is the full cabin review, and I am not exaggerating when I say I had the best cabin on the entire ship. That is not something that I normally say, so I'll see you over there in a few seconds.